Hello again, and welcome to Plushie's Spaghettio Corner. I'm your host, Plushie, and today we're going to be learning adults only advanced Spaghettio tips! If you're anything like me, and God fucking help you, I hope you're not, you eat a fuckload of Spaghettios. Well, today we're going to go over the benefits of eating Mario-specific Spaghettios and meatballs. Also Luigi. Now, there's a few obvious benefits from eating Spaghettios shaped like Mario characters. We've got a Mario, we've got a green shell, we've got your fire flower, your Goomba, your block, and your super mushroom. Now, these Spaghettio shapes are important, not only because of their cultural relevance and the weirdness of the fact that they're using Italian plumbers to pan spaghetti products onto us, but also because their larger shapes make them easier to pour from the can. I'll show you. You want to know how I got these scars? That's what the Joker said in the famous Heath Ledger version. Heath Ledger. You want to know how I got these scars? From trying to eat Spaghettios that have been caught on the rim of the can upon opening it. Now, normal Spaghettios have very small rings, and a lot of them, when you're pouring them out, get caught under this lip. And you have two choices. You can either get a spoon and try and scoop them all out, or you can use the wise man's route and just try and suck them out with your mouth. But here's the problem, is that you are very much at risk for cutting yourself in both of those different ways. But the way that the Spaghettios with Mario shapes shine is that since the shapes are so big in comparison to the can, you can shake them out into the can almost perfectly with almost no left over. See, look, I just do one or two of these, and look, completely clean can. Now, I don't know if you guys eat Spaghettios as much as I do. Some of you disgusting pieces of shit probably do. But everyone knows that leftover Spaghettios in the can are a huge fucking problem, especially to the more intrepid of us that'll just stick it up to our faces and suck out the extra O's. Now, there's a good and bad part of sucking out all those extra O's. Number one, on the good side, you don't waste anything, and you get to eat some of the Spaghettios before they're fully cooked. Now, if you're like me, you wait to cook until the last minute when you're about to fucking starve. So those few Spaghettios before you're done cooking can actually be a godsend. But on the bad side, there's a lot of jagged metal here. And I don't know if you know much about jagged metal in the soft tissues of your mouth, but they don't fucking mix. Now, one of my favorite Spaghettio hacks isn't as much as a hack as much as it is a permanent life lesson. Everything is better with a little dollop of butter in it, Spaghettios included. I noticed a very, very stark contrast from my days eating Spaghettios as a child, as when they started, you could tell they changed the recipe about halfway through my childhood, which I guess I would say I probably noticed the difference around like the mid-2000s. And that was the thing, is that these Spaghettios started tasting like blood. Like, you know, the pennies in your mouth after you bite your lip after falling off the trampoline type blood. One of my other favorite Spaghettios tips is if you're going for a real bold Italian flavor, just get a little bit of garlic salt here, stick it in your hand, and then you just dollop it in there. So Spaghettios with butter and garlic salt makes for a much more robust and full flavor while you're eating your O's. As a person who has loved Spaghettios for many years and has enjoyed the bounty of their cheap cans of delicious Italian goodness, I can't complain about the Spaghettios company. Spaghettios company? Is that a company? Is it Campbell's? I can't complain about Campbell's. If it was good enough for Andy Warhol, it's good enough for me. But as a person who does love Spaghettios, I feel like it's partially my responsibility to bring to light some of the qualms that I have as a longtime consumer, so that I can preserve the beauty and the honor of a dish that I love very much. Now, this has always been a standalone dish for me, but in recent years, I've had to be adding more and more ingredients to bring it up to the par that I find myself liking Spaghettios at. And although that may just be me becoming an adult and becoming more picky and more selective about my childhood dishes, I think it's really important for me to step back and use my critical mind and my taste for something I've known for a long time to try and try and have a conversation with the company that makes Spaghettios. Campbell's, I love you. Spaghettios, you're beautiful. But it's one of those things where it's like, I want to help push forward something that I love and not just criticize it. My goal here is to not be mean to Spaghettios. Yes, it does start tasting a little bit like blood, and yes, I do have to add more ingredients as times go on, but I just want them to know that we are noticing these changes, and as much as maybe cutting costs is important, and maybe the ability to preserve this economically has to come at the cost of some of the flavor, I know it's not a rich man's dish. I know it's something that people are supposed to not indulge in every day. But as a person who does indulge in it every day, I want to see some change. Here's the finished product. Here you can see a little Goomba. Here's a little wall shape. There's your various Mario goodies. Thanks, y'all, for hanging out. And make sure to give a shout out to my Patreon patrons. 1, 2, 3, my Patreon patrons are the best. You keep me from being depressed. You help this really useless dude to afford his various bills and food.